get blown out again. That's back-to-back now. They lose to the St. Louis Blues 6-2 after losing 5-2 to Minnesota the game before. So in a lot of ways, this was deja vu, but not terribly unexpected. It really is important when you play a team. St. Louis was very determined. They were on a losing streak. Their last game they lost home against Ottawa. I mean, that's never good. They lost to the Rangers just last week. So you knew that they were going to come out hungry, but the Rangers played like shit against Minnesota last game. So that can't be an excuse. Like, you yourselves had a very poor performance against the Wild, and this was with Igor Shesterkin in goal. Sometimes he can't save you. Sometimes he just can't. And he didn't tonight, and he was pulled. He was pulled early in the second period. Definitely did not see that coming. The goals truly were not his fault. Honestly, these were not goals that were his fault. There was not a whole lot that he could do. And a lot of the times this year, he makes the amazing, spectacular save to kind of keep them in it. Couldn't do it tonight. Wasn't going to happen. Pavel Buchnevich was not in the lineup for the Blues, so there was no sort of, none of that. That wasn't an angle here. Blues just simply were absolutely the better team. The Rangers, there's been struggles, but I'm very interested in seeing what happens in this next Dallas game. I really am. The Rangers have not lost 3 straight games in regulation all year. They only have one 3-game losing streak. And even within that 3-game losing streak, they got 2 points. So let's see what happens. They beat Dallas, and I'm feeling better about things because that's going to be a tough game too. Now, that's a team that isn't struggling, even though their most recent game was a loss. They're playing good hockey, but they're in the thick of a very close Western Conference playoff race. So I'm hoping that they can win that game. I really am. That's going to be really tough, but if you can win that one, it'll kind of keep me at bay. But I really think that these last 2 games were terrible, and the Rangers' 5-on-5 play is atrocious. For a team with the record they have, the Rangers are 36-17-5. Their 5-on-5 play is at best average. And even that is probably at this point incorrect. It's probably at best mediocre. Let's take it a step down. Like, the Rangers' special teams is great, and tonight it was great. Rangers tonight 2 for 3 on the power play and killed off all 3 of the Blues' power plays. Excellent. That's superb. But Blues 6, Rangers nothing when it came to even strength play. That's unacceptable. It really is. And what I'm also noticing is that home ice might be actually very important for the Rangers come playoff time. If they're lucky to be in that sort of 2-3, they're not going to catch Carolina. I've been saying that for the whole season, and it's even further true now. But let's say they play Pittsburgh, which I still think is the most likely scenario. Washington is creeping up a bit, but I still think Pittsburgh. I think it's important that series is going to be, with the potential Game 7 being at Madison Square Garden. Because the Rangers at this point, the Rangers overall, they've been a pretty decent road team, but we're starting to see a difference where they are winning games regularly at home. And on the road, they're starting to struggle a bit. So the Rangers in this one, a lot of early penalties. A lot of them. As far as the lineup was concerned, it was the same as the Minnesota game. So, again, no Morgan Barron. Tim Gettinger still in the lineup. It shows you what they feel about Morgan Barron. That's all I'm saying. It was obvious how they felt about Nils Lundkvist, and it's obvious how they feel about Morgan Barron. So, but someone who I want to talk about who really has struggled mightily is Ryan Lindgren. Ryan Lindgren the Lindgren-Fox pair has been bad for a bit. Seriously, that like I consider that the number 1 pair. Even though honestly it's kind of a 1A, 1B with Lindgren, Fox, and Miller Trouba. Miller Trouba has been the better pair. I'm sorry. It just has been. Lindgren, Fox, who I would have considered the number 1 going into the season, absolutely. And for large stretches of the beginning of the season, it just has not been good. Lindgren's been taking a lot of penalties. He's been out of position. And for Adam Fox, it's been rough. Even though tonight he got his 50th assist, which is just insane. We know he brings that offensive side. But Adam Fox, too, he's been much better in the past. And maybe there's an injury in play here. But Ryan Lindgren and Adam Fox were both -4 tonight. Let that sink in. That's bad, to put it lightly. Not what you want. And they didn't play much tonight. And you know what? Good. Lindgren and Fox did not play much at all. And that was deserved. So Ryan Lindgren hooks Robert Thomas at 4:31. But the Rangers' penalty kill, like I said, was so good. Really, really good. And before the penalty's over, Johnny Brodzinski tries to clear the puck, but it's a delay game. Goes into the stands. So it's a 5-on-3 for the Blues, but they get nothing. Rangers kill both those penalties. Then at 8:05, Lindgren's at it again. Another tripping penalty on Ryan Lindgren. It feels like he's been a penalty machine because he has been. But the Rangers do a great job. Full marks to the PK. Then the Rangers have a 2-on-1 opportunity similar to the Minnesota game. It's Strome and Hunt. Different side, though, this time. Strome's on the right, Hunt's on the left. And Hunt has a chance to bury it, and Villauso makes the save. But honestly, if either A, Hunt lifts the puck, or B, puts it more short side, he shot it right in the middle of the net. I'm sorry. It looks like a good save, but this was not, this is why Dryden Hunt can't be in the top 6. Like, he scores a beautiful goal the night before after he hadn't scored in 30 games. But what do you know? Hunt doesn't score, and then very soon thereafter, Robert Thomas gets on the board for the Blues, gives them a 1-0 lead. But it wouldn't stop there. 45 seconds later, on a lost face-off, at this point it was the Strome lost the face-off, but it was really, to me, I blame this goal on Lindgren and Fox. Fox couldn't get the puck behind the net, which he's normally good at, and Lindgren was kind of soft in coverage in front. And Barbashev scores to make it 2-0 Blues. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, no. Nope. Because at 15:41, guess who scores again? Robert Thomas. And it gives the Blues a 3-0 lead. And for that goal, the Zibanejad line was on. Lafreniere, I think, was a little bit of a culprit on that goal. He's been a bit quiet again lately. And Lindgren and Fox were on for it too. But the Rangers do get a power play because, as we know, that's important to them. And it was actually a Goodrow who had his stick held. And I thought Goodrow actually in this game, he was probably one of the few that, was not horrible in this game. And the Rangers get a power play goal, and it's Ryan Strome. Strome scores his 13th goal of the season from Fox and Shesterkin. So Igor Shesterkin, he does get an assist in this game, not in typical Igor fashion. So he's had a lot of great passes that didn't lead to assists. This one, he literally just sort of handed it off to Fox, and Fox did all the work. And then Strome scores. So it's 3-1 going to the second. And maybe can they build off that goal? No. Short answer, no. Because 15 seconds into the period, Ryan O'Reilly scores after Mika falls down. Riley's in great position, buries it by Shesterkin, and Igor's out. Alex Georgiev in after playing last game. It's Georgiev. We would see a fight between Dryden Hunt and Mikkola of the Blues at 4:52. And then a delayed penalty on the Rangers. I don't know who the penalty – I don't remember who the penalty was going to be on, but it was a really ugly sequence. It was 6-on-5 for the Blues, and Jake Wallman scores a goal where Georgiev just kind of lost his footing, hit a rut in the ice, falls down. It was pretty embarrassing. And Wallman scores it, and it makes it 5-1. And then they would score right after. Not a great goal by Georgiev, but I guess it did go off of Nemeth. So it's a goal by David Perron, and it makes it 6-1 Blues. And then Jordan Kyrou takes a penalty at 9:20. The Rangers are unsuccessful on that power play, but then Justin Falk is called for a slashing penalty, and that power play does score. and it's a goal by Keandre Miller, his 5th goal of the season on a really nice pass by Artemi Panarin. Panarin, we've seen the skill, especially on the power play, and we saw it right there on that Miller goal. Fox gets the secondary assist, his 50th assist of the season, and that would be it for the scoring. Very similar to the Minnesota game where the third period would have no scoring. In the third, really not a whole lot going on, and really it wasn't a very good third for the Rangers. Keep in mind that the Zibanejad line basically did not play much at all in this game. They were ineffective. Zibanejad, which was rare. Kreider was -4. Zibanejad and Lafreniere were -3. And so, the Zibanejad line as well as Lindgren Fox basically didn't play much. And Sturgeon got pulled. So, it was almost a way to give them some extra rest. I don't mind it at all, but it is something to note. Another thing that comes to mind, Julien Gauthier gets a breakaway and can't score. The guy can't score goals. Let's just call it as it is. Julien Gauthier, there's talent there, there's skill, there's a lot of offensive ability. The guy can't score goals. Not at the NHL level. It's just not a thing. So the Blues win it very, very easily. Rangers get blown out in back-to-back games. And let's see what happens in Dallas. I think very interesting game. Let's see if the Rangers can respond again as they have in most cases this season. And that should be a motivated team. The Rangers should be the motivated team after Gerard Gallant basically called them soft and said they should be embarrassed. And this is someone that usually, even when they play poorly, he defends them. He couldn't defend them after this one. Nope. So I am, more than usual, very intrigued by what this Rangers Stars game will hold. Let's keep in mind that the Rangers played them a while ago. It was the Ranger home opener, and Dallas won in overtime. A lot has changed since then, but I would expect this one to also be a very close game. A good Dallas team, who, like I said, has a lot to play for against a Ranger team that should be pretty angry. So we'll see what happens. Let's see and hope that the Rangers can finish off this trip and salvage it, because it's looking like it's going to be an ugly one.